Here we are.
What's up?
Little
What's
Paul
up?
Kelly time. Oh
What's
my
up?
God. You really are. I mean, you're getting pretty lean and ripped, it looks like. Before
Been
you were,
working on it. Been working on my
yeah.
diet. My diet.
So
Yes.
bef- before we dive in, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing with your diet? Because I know gut stuff is really
Yeah.
kind of becoming a more, recognized kind of movement where, you got to take care of your gut.
Huge. Absolutely. And I'm sorry about me touching my ears. I got these things, and when I talk, my TMJ is pushing it back. It's just popping these things out. I don't know what's going on. But but anyway, no, yeah, gut science, man. It's where it's at right now. There's so many people, Dr. Gundry, Dr. Berg, gosh, I'm missing, there's tons of them out there talking about Dr. Mercola. So what I've been doing is really been getting into working on my biotics, which is building the gut flora, is which we are losing as we age with all types of things like antibiotics to acidity in our body, inflammatory proteins, just really bad diet sugar, creating
Sugar,
acids.
yes.
Yeah. And so what happens is we get bloated. Everyone's bloated, right? You may eat something and all of a sudden you have this bloat, or, almost instantaneously. And if you're getting that, then you're not digesting your food. You're producing gas. You're not getting good digestion. So yeah, I've been working on that. And here's the deal: when you wake up in the morning, you ever done this? You suck your stomach in, and you can pull your ribs in. You can pull it all the way in, and then you go and you have your breakfast or whatever. And then you try to pull it in, you can't do it. So when it's empty, it's good. Then you start eating, it's bad. So I've just been working on putting prebiotics in there to build good bacteria. I've been doing some fasting. I'm a big faster.
Me too.
So I do this. I do
What's your
the
fast look like? What's your fast
18
look
and
like?
6. 18 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an 18 and 6er and a 24-hour one every month. Once a month, probably I'll do a couple of those 24 hours in there and just clean. Let the liver cleanse. Let everything clean out. We have enough, vitamins stored in our bodies for, I think they said, 36 days or something like this, 38 days. So we're not going to atrophy and we're not going to die for fasting. And we're big over consumers, as you may know, of food.
Yes.
So, think about digestively. I'm a big hunter gatherer kind of guy. I believe that you wake up in the morning, you got to survive, right? You got to figure out how your next meal is going to come that day. And then hopefully you catch one. Maybe you don't catch one. And so maybe you had that 24-hour fast. And then the next day you get something, right? And then you feast. And your body stores it. It stores that nutrition inside of us. And so then we utilize that over the next coming days or whenever we get our next meal. I also believe, and I'm just throwing this stuff out. This is the way I eat. I'm a seasonal eater. I'm a seasonal eater.
Yep, absolutely.
So I'm not eating the fruit right now. I'm cutting back on the fruits in the wintertime, looking more for the grainy stuff and also the nuts and the seeds, stacking and that kind of stuff. Fats, lots of fats right now, good fats. Avocados to coconut oils to salmon and, all those good things. Our brain, here's another good tip you probably know, is 75% DHEA. 75%. So, that being said, we need those fats. We need those fish oils.
I'm a crazy olive oil person.
Olive
oil on everything. Everything I eat has olive oil. And I felt less concerned about that when I went to Italy and I found that they were putting oil all over their pizza. So I was like, and but I think too, one of the things is the oils you use. I used cold pressed, unfiltered olive oil.
Right.
So the oil is real. I think one of the things too, I don't know about you, Paul, but we just get so much stuff that's really processed. And one of my favorite examples is women, before their menstrual cycle, they all crave chocolate. I gotta have chocolate. I gotta have chocolate. Right. But so the cacao bean is the base of chocolate. And the cacao bean is actually high in magnesium, which is what women are really craving. So if you buy a processed candy bar that doesn't have a lot of cacao in it, now they're starting to label and all because everyone's catching on, then you're gonna have to eat more candy bars to get that, to feel that, right? So you get one beautiful dark chocolate candy bar full of cacao that's not processed, and you're going to get what you need more. So for me, I always see the processed foods as I can't my body is still hungry because I'm not getting the nutrients I need. But if I make myself a nice, beautiful crunch salad, I call it, with my carrots, my peppers, all that stuff in there, and I eat that, my body's like, thank you, Diane. And my gut's like,
absolutely.
Hey, Diane, thank you. Because my stomach, like you said, I think that people just think that that's how you have to live, with that stomach out here. And I don't know about you, but when I do the 24-hour fast, my body kind of almost kind of cleans out.
That feels great.
It does feel great, doesn't it?
Well, we have insulin sensitivities from eating so much, right? We eat too often. I used to be a bodybuilder, right? And I was eating every 2.5 hours every single day. And I was consuming 27 grams of protein minimum, right? And so I was, 215 pounds. I now sit here and I'm 185 pounds. So you can imagine, stacking on another 40 pounds on me. And that's all protein. That's all consuming calories. But what's healthy? What's really healthy, man? Healthy is, lean and mean, lower weight, not carrying around all that mass, and being able to move easier, which comes from eating well, actually, because if you don't have inflammation in your food, which transmits into dehydrated joints and joint inflammation. And so that can also be a pain generator, as we know.
Yes.
The chemical pain generator. And so can working out. So working out too much is a pain generator, right? So finding that kind of that even flow line of getting it all in.
Yep. And you and I were talking about, one of the things that we decided to meet up and just have a chat was that I am currently, I'm 50. And, I think I'm hanging pretty tight for 50.
I can't believe you're 50. That's awesome. That's great.
Thanks. I think I'm hanging pretty tight.
I got to get my hair colored or something here. Jeez.
I think I'm hanging pretty tight. And everyone's always like, and I think some of it's like genetics, but I watch what I eat. And I also get massage, and I also work out. So one of the things that we were talking about is how at age 50, I've looked at my legs my whole life. And when I look at my legs in the mirror, I'm like, ew. And, and that's, first of all, horrible to say to myself. Second of all, if I just stand there and I go, ew, they're not going to change.
I wish that was the nicest thing I said about myself. Oh my gosh. Jeez. I'm a lot harder on myself than ew.
Well, we're all right. Good point. I probably go a little further too. But so I've been like, okay, it's time. Yeah. It's time. Let's really focus on your legs and really start kind of putting muscle on them. Just get some muscle on your legs. And I'm just noticing, I was telling you, like, one, at age 50, it's a huge feat. It is putting muscle on. When I was like 20, I'd be like, dee, 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 and my muscles would be like, boop. So putting muscle back on is hard. So I don't know if you want to hit on that a little bit.
Yeah, I can talk about aging and muscle. So what happens to us from the ACSM, this is current research off American College Sports Medicine. And what they're saying is really what happens to us is we lose more type 2 fiber in our muscle, type 2 A and B, which is our fast twitch, glycolytic fibers, which requires glucose. It requires that sugar. So we're more prone to diabetes as we age too, if we're over consuming sugars. So we're seeing higher levels of this insulin resistance because we're eating too much. We don't have as much fast twitch muscle in our bodies. That's decreasing at age 50. If you looked at a graph at age 50 to 60, the graph starts to go whoa, like that. So we really start to lose, and that's circumference area too, the CSA level, they call it, circumference surface area of the actual sarcomeres lengths. The bellies of the muscles shrink. So the belly themselves, they just don't hold the mass. We can hold strength, though. That's the good news. So we can always hold on to strength. But strength, so the kicker is we can always have strength, but we cannot have the duration of the workout. So the duration has to decrease. The strength, you can still do intensities, which is important, actually, is intensity. So vigorous exercise. So, still deadlifting, still lifting hard. Isometrics. I talked a lot about isometrics. Heavy, hardcore isometrics. There's actually people are doing that out there a lot right now, isometric training. I probably was doing this back when I was a bodybuilder. I started doing it 20 years ago, and we would use it for strength, and that's really what you still use it for. And then you also use it for tendinopathy. So really the best thing to heal tendons, like hamstring insertions, for example, a lot of runners, sprinters have hamstring tendinopathy, soccer players, kickers, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people have dogs.
I know. I'm going to be at my.
I'm just messing with you. So anyway, I don't know. I think I lost your volume. Can you hear me?
I can. Hold on. Let me let her out.
Okay, go ahead. Is that a Pomeranian? Is that a Pomeranian?
Out there. She can bark out there.
Pomeranian?
No, she's a little Tibetan Spaniel. She's a story. Cutie. She's a story in of herself. So then it's not the whole losing muscle thing is real. And it's funny that you said that. And I can say that that's true. In that I used to work out for like an hour and a half. And I used to look at people that were older than me come in and they do these like little 30-minute cycles. And I was like, what are they doing?
Wasting their time. Right?
But now that's all I do. I do like a good 30-40 minute workout where I'm lifting, and I'm noticing that actually works better for me now than it did. Then if I tried to do an hour and a half workout, I'd have to take 4 naps.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much as you age. We don't have the endurance, unfortunately, but we do have the strength. And really, we're trying to start our IGF factors, like growth factors, and we're trying to get all these tumor growth, these parts of our body that start with neogenesis starting to repair. We want all that repair. So in bones for you guys, for the hips, you got to work those glutes, you got to work those quads, you got to work those hammies to keep those hips, because the femoral neck, and it has a lot to do with estrogen rising. The femoral neck, and even in men, we're seeing higher incidence of estrogen in men from foods.
Is it true that it's from plastic too?
Probably from plastic. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. I mean, come on.
Anyway, go ahead.
Shouldn't be drinking out of it, probably, right? But yeah, so we got all that going on, and then we have bone demineralization. So tendons demineralize, the collagen, actually type 1 collagen changes into 2 and 3. We've seen this is with higher incidences of estrogen. These are people that just don't work out. That's why you have high levels of estrogen. So when you're not training your system, you're not stabilizing those hormones, and so we have these uneven. And that's probably part of why the chocolate craving comes in too, because there's more cramping and spasming of the body. So the body craves that magnesium to muscle relax.
Yes.
So it's a muscle relaxer. And it's crazy because I had a really big chocolate craving last night and I didn't menstruate. So I don't know what's going on over here.
You might have needed some magnesium.
I think it's all the women in my house, man. I don't know.
Perhaps.
Oh God, I don't know. But but I just craved it.
So hopefully you ate good chocolate. All chocolate is not.
Cacao.
Some chocolate.
Really? Yeah.
High in cacao.
Cacao. Yeah.
You're good to go. So one of the things too that we were just kind of joking about is as I work on my legs more, I've noticed that I'm kind of into the emotional side of the body. The body. Some people read the body and do it intellectually and anatomy wise. I look at the body and I read it, a little bit more on the Oriental body reading by Ohashi side. So for me, my legs, as I'm doing my legs, I feel empowered and I feel more grounded. Sure. Instead of running away from my legs, I've said, what, legs, we're going to town. And I've really been working my legs. And I was telling you, I feel more grounded, more self-assured. I feel more present. And you were saying that there's probably some scientific reasons behind that as well.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. No, so we look at the feet and the legs as the roots, right? They're the roots in the ground. The trunk is really the trunk of the tree. Think about, are you a twig or are you a tree? I love that concept. Are you a twig? Cool. Are you gonna blow over in the wind when a storm comes? Are you a tree? Are you a trunk? Are you strong? Can you withstand what we call external protuberance? Someone slapping you and pushing you. Can you withstand that? If you can't, then your core is weak and your roots are not stable. They're not grounded, right? So the feet The feet actually ground, as you know, if you work with people and body work, you ground through the ground with your feet. Your toes grab the ground and then you drive into the force. And it comes from the ground. If you're a body worker, you're right out of the ground. And everything is what we call either open or closed chain. So you're either with 2 feet on the floor, or you got one off the ground, and you're driving through that whole kinetic chain from the hands to the ground.
Right.
And yeah, in the foot is an example of the hand. It's the same thing almost. It's really cool if you really study the two. It is an extension of your hand. So the proprioception, that's another reason why you're feeling confident, because you're training the ankle and the foot and the proprioceptors, which feeds your brainstem. And
Yes.
so your cerebellum, your brainstem, and then it lights this sucker up like crazy, because from the ground up, everything has to fire. That's why squats are the ultimate exercise, because it fires from every muscle group almost is holding that weight, right? If you got dumbbells in your arms, or you're holding kettlebells and you're dropping down and coming up with that weight, then every muscle group has to fire at one time. And what does that do to your brain? Lights it up. It lights it up, man. All that dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, all those beta endorphins. That's why you could do, this is what I do. I do one high intensity set, okay, where I put on a weight that I could probably do 10 to 12 times, okay, no more. And I want it to be hard. And that's my last set, okay, because I warm up. I do a lot of movement training and neurologic training first, pain management training that I teach. And then I go in with the heavier weight. And I just do one set, like in pull-ups. You know, do the same thing with pull-ups, big muscle group movements. You know, these are called global movements, the big stuff. So like it's a power clean all the way up, or it's a, you know, full body planks rotations, or whatever it may be, but you max it out. You do it one time, max it out. And you hit that once a week like that. You just hit your body in different places like that. You do 5 days a week, 2 days off. And then the 2 days off for walking, cardiovascular, you're still doing your movement training and stuff like that. So, but yeah, you keep doing that, and every day, and then you're going to see, not only are you seeing improvements in your strength, but you're looking, you know, you feel better because you look better, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the number one anti-ager. I don't have to tell anybody this stuff. We know it is. It's the number one antidepressant.
Yes. Anxiety.
Yeah. Gosh, I mean, it's wintertime coming, man. I have seasonal depression. You know, a lot of people have this seasonal depression stuff right now. And if you don't get in the gym early in the morning, you'll be depressed.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to get up in the mornings and get your dose. And yeah, I mean, it's a big deal. And we're on the edge right now of where doctors are going to be prescribing exercise. I mean, we are. I do too. I really do. I hope the medical community, they finally are going to take this stuff seriously enough to go, hey, I just hope it doesn't override all the manual therapists and the trainers and all the people that are specializing in this industry. You know, we hope that we can have good regulation with it to where it's not overpowering us. But, you know, honestly, we've been preaching this. I've been preaching this. I came out of school, University of Tennessee, you know, exercise science, physiology major, sports medicine, undergrad, graduate classes in ATC, working, and then also doing, you know, what about doing it? How about that concept? How about being a doer? You know, how many people are talking? You know, seriously, how do you learn?
I know. I learned through my own body and my experience with my own body. Yep.
80% practice, 20% learning.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
And one of the things that you were saying too, is as you were talking about the feet and the squats and those full body, what did you call them? Those full body
global movements.
Global movements. I love
global muscles, the big ones, all those big ones. Yeah.
But even when I do my biceps, right?
Mm-hmm.
I focus on
you're still engaging that stuff. You know, I think if you're lifting, you're engaging.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm always focusing on my feet. So I just love that behind all of this, behind some of the emotional stuff, you can still have a science base with it. So I'm fascinated by how some of these older philosophies before science were more, you know, ancient. Let's say that the legs are for grounding, and you know it matches up. It matches up.
It totally matches up. The Orientals, yeah, they had it right. They really did. You know, the way their stances and all their fighting. I mean, is to broaden the base. You broaden the base, and it makes you more stable.
Mm-hmm.
So they had it right. I mean, the Oriental, if you study Chinese medicine or Chinese Orient, obviously you have
Mm-hmm.
with Ohashi. I love that stuff, man.
It's
They had
so
it.
interesting.
And the meridian system is the same thing as our nervous system. If you look at all the things that they've discovered, power pressure points, also nerve endings. It's very similar to what we've changed and called and westernized.
And if you're okay, so if your legs aren't stable, right, and you're you're not as able to almost not be pushed over, then you're not going to be as confident. Your stance might not be as confident. Like you were saying, like there's so many things in the legs where it makes sense to help you feel grounded and confident. And your hips helped you move forward. And I'm just really excited that you were able to share that with me today, because it just, like I said, it's cool to see the science and some of the more, seeing the Eastern and the Western philosophies kind of merge together a little bit more, because I think there's
Can I say one thing really quick I want to say about the legs?
Sure.
Is that it not only is the leg strength important, but it's also the most important key for pain. So people that are interested in pain, trying to get rid of pain, when you put somebody on their feet, you light up the brain more. And so we know with pain research is the more messages that pass through the serotogenic pathways in the brainstem at one time in the cerebellum, the less pain they have. For example, with sciatica, if someone has sciatica in their right leg, are they standing on it or are they standing off of it?
Mm-hmm.
They're standing off of it. When you put them on the leg, and it hurts when they stand off of it, they're aching. They're going, yeah, I've got my right hamstrings cramping, my calf is cramping, especially if it goes below the knee. Now we know that's a disc. We might say that if it's above the knee, yes, we can help this with pain. And so then I had a guy in here, this is for an example. He comes in and he's been to everybody. He's had a knee replacement, okay, in his right knee. I think I talked maybe a little bit about this before, but anyway, he had a knee replacement. He comes in, he's got sciatica in his right leg, and he doesn't know it. He thinks it's a knee replacement. And so he goes, I've been having pain in this leg for 2 years. Whenever you hear 2 years, that's chronic. And it's not the knee replacement anymore, right? So because he's been to every doctor, right? He's been to every doctor. No one can figure it out. No one's helped the guy. So then here's long story short. I go, I think it might be sciatic nerve pain. He goes, yeah, it's going down the back of the hamstring, whatever else. So I did some tests with him, and sure enough, it was going down his leg. I go, you know what? Let's just try this. I go, can you just stand on that right leg? No, I don't want to stand on it. It's going to hurt if I stand on it. I go, let's just try it. Just trust me right now. So he goes, okay. So he goes over on it, and I go, okay, now lift that other foot up. I was really cool with him. Here, let me hold your hand. He got up on it. He goes, I go, now tell me what you feel. Oh my God, my pain went away. I go, really? I go, that's weird. He goes, no, man, this is some weird stuff here. I don't know if I will. You're getting kind of weird with me, right? I go, no. I said, what it is you're not using the leg, and it's not getting any mediated pain sensory. It's not getting that mediation that it wants. It's also imbalance. There's a lot of other factors I'm not going into. I'm just saying in general, it's coming from deconditioning. Mm-hmm. Deconditioning on multiple levels, not only from just stance, not using the limb in the brain, not receiving messages, but also from lack of tendon use and bone use and all that junk that requires use. It deconditions super quick. And that's what the pain comes. So then he started coming. I just did tapping drills with him, the stuff in our program. He was like, oh my gosh, I should be doing this forever. Yeah. I said, why don't the doctors tell me that? Well, you're going to the oil guy, right. You're getting your oil changed. You're talking to an orthopedic surgeon. He did his job. That's not his specialty. This is what we do.
Right.
You get what you go to.
Wait, I have to, and I want you to elaborate on one thing, and then we'll wrap it up. So below the knee.
Yeah, more discogenic. If it's traveling down, or stenosis, it could be also severe stenosis, like in neuropathies. But in general, if it's mechanical pain, mechanical from the low back only, mechanical joints, mm-hmm. or the hip, it usually doesn't travel below the knee if it's a hip problem. Mm-hmm. So if it is a disc, it's going to travel way down into the foot.
And I've, as you say that, I've experienced that on many levels, because my hip bothers me. It doesn't go below my knee, but I did have a gentleman who had a huge lower back disc issue, and that definitely went all the way down to his foot. Very interesting.
That could be sequestration of the disc where it came out, but those will heal. They usually take a couple of weeks, 15 days. If there's atrophy with it, you want them to go see somebody. But obviously, if they can stand the pain and you can help them with some traction, is the best thing for them at that point, tractioning. If they have actually a herniated disc that's ruptured. And then they need to be doing the trunk training. You know, really, it's just the dead bug. You know,
I love the
dead bug is when you're rocking oscillation with the arch, and all you're doing, you know, you're just pulling on. This is your spine right here. You're pulling on the psoas. It's just pulling the vertebral bodies like this, and it's just working that joint. You know, it's just working it back and forth, and it's lubricating it and hydrating it. We call it hydrodynamics. And you just, you know, and it works, and it just takes some time. It's got to suck that disc. You know, it's got to heal. Discs heal. So
what do you want to leave us with? Do you have some stuff?
Oh, let's see. Yeah, I've got all kinds of stuff I'm trying to keep up with. So yeah, next year I've got one seminar left. This is our first time ever doing our pain management 2-day series, and so we're doing mobility stability training. What we call TNT, we call it. So table neuro training. We're training the brain on the table, and so we're going to start people. After treatment, you want to do this table neuro training. You want to get them not only neurologically loose, but stable at the same time. So I take them through all the processes on the table that you do for mobility. And then I take you through level 2 next day, joint stability training. And then we take them off the table and I show you a pain management strategy that they get into at home. So I teach you how to take them from the table and get them strong and out of pain, and then how to stand them up from the table and then get them home, and then get them going for, you know, an active daily lifestyle. So yeah, it's a neat little class. I'm excited about teaching it for the first time. And so we've never taught it. So if you have taken a class in the past, this is going to be a lot different. I highly recommend it. And then next year, let's see, January, I'm teaching the 5 key links. And so the 5 key links, some people call them essential techniques. These are the 5 parts of the body that I treat in my practice on a daily basis. So when I have someone come in, these are the most important parts that I want to check. I not only want to check them, I want to treat them, and then I want to neurologically retrain them. So this is how I work in my office. So that'll be a really cool one. That's going to be virtual. And I got invited to the AMTA California virtual conference this next year. I'm excited to teach there. And obviously I'm going to teach at the Neck Jam. I'm excited about the neck. And I want to just kind of get that neck warmed up for that Neck Jam to get my neck going.
And if you guys have not seen Paul's presentation from the Hip Jam, if you weren't there, you should definitely get the home study. It was so cool. I love the bands. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I was telling you what my lead therapist has been watching that, and I'm like, must have that done to me.
Yeah. So we take our training systems totally for the physiotherapist, chiropractor, manual therapist, personal trainer, exercise physiologist. It works for all those, and for the active daily person who wants to be active. It works with everybody, and it doesn't leave anybody out. And the idea is to get the therapist using it on the table in a different manner, a different mindset, a different thinking, and really training quick. Are you there?
Yep.
My little shit. Okay.
Paul Kelly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah. Check our website out, physiogenetics.com, Temple HP. Come do a mentorship. Do mentorships here still. So we'd love to have you as a mentor. Yeah.
So
lots of fun stuff to come.
I'll put up your website and we'll see you soon, Paul. Hang tight for a minute. Bye, everybody.
Awesome. See y'all later.